Hello there and welcome to Emirates News, broadcasting from Dubai. I'm Greg Fairley. The headlines tonight. The Vice President chairs a remote meeting of the UAE Cabinet and approves a national system for sustainable agriculture. The UAE Minister of Foreign Affairs meet with US Special Representative for Iran to review regional developments. In the business tonight, Moasha, Dubai property index value, hits outstanding six-month numbers in May 2020. And in the sports, the UAE football season is all set to kick off from September with the Arabian Gulf League. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, today chaired a remote meeting of the UAE Cabinet in which Sheikh Mohammed approved a national system for sustainable agriculture. The Vice President said that the initiative will improve the efficiency of UAE farms, enhance the nation's self-sufficiency in food and create new opportunities to ensure the sector is always ranked among the best. Sheikh Mohammed also approved 320 million dirhams in extra budgets for national universities to improve their future performance. Sheikh Mohammed further added that normality will resume at the country's universities and schools, as it's the government's job to create an ideal environment for students to return in the academic year 2020 to 2021. The UAE Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, today met with the US Special Representative for Iran and Senior Policy Advisor to the Secretary of State, Brian Hook, to discuss regional matters and ways to enhance bilateral cooperation. During the meeting, Sheikh Abdullah and the US diplomat discussed the broad range of threats posed by Iran and joint efforts to create a more stable and secure Middle East region. Sheikh Abdullah also denounced Iran's continuous interference in affairs of Arab countries and emphasized that the UAE's interest to deepen cooperation with the US across all fronts, as both countries share a commitment to defeat extremism in all of its forms in order to create more tolerant and peaceful societies. The US diplomat stressed the importance of the bilateral relationship with the UAE and assured Sheikh Abdullah of continued efforts to advance strategic cooperation. Several other sheikhs and senior officials also attended the meeting. Meanwhile, over the weekend, the UAE sent 16 metric tons of medical supplies to Iran to bolster the country's efforts to curb the spread of COVID-19. The aid is expected to assist approximately 16,000 medical professionals as they work to contain the virus. This is the fourth time that the UAE is providing humanitarian assistance to Iran since the start of the pandemic in their country. On the 16th of March, the UAE dispatched 2 aid planes carrying more than 33 metric tons of medical supplies, followed by another on the 3rd of March containing 7.5 metric tons of medical aid, which was in partnership with the World Health Organization. The UAE announced 387 new cases of the coronavirus last night. This brings the total number of infected in the country to 47,360. The Ministry of Health and Prevention also revealed that at present the nation has a total of 35,834 recoveries, along with a death tally of 311. Authorities are reminding UAE residents that fines for breaking the current safety protocols are still in place despite the ending of the national sterilisation programme. The National Emergency Crisis and Disasters Management Authority says that there has been a significant increase in offences in the country since the nighttime curfew was lifted last week. That's why residents are being reminded that those who break the rules will be fined and the penalties doubled for a second offence. In fact, third-time violators will be subject to legal action and could face a possible jail term of 6 months or a fine of no less than 100,000 dirhams. Meanwhile, there are now more than 10 million people infected with COVID-19 around the world, and nearly 500,000 have died due to the virus. That's according to Johns Hopkins University, who say more than 188 countries have been affected by the pandemic since the first few cases were detected in China back in December of last year. Now, 7 months into the crisis, here are the top 5 countries that are currently suffering the most. The United States now has crossed 2.5 million infections and over 125,000 Americans have died from COVID-19. This is the highest known death toll in the world. Second on the list is Brazil. The country now has more than 1.3 million cases, and its death tally is also the second highest, with the number having passed 57,000. Next on the list is Russia, with more than 633,000 confirmed cases, with a death toll of just over 9,000. Fourth on the list is India. Their infection rate is now approaching 530,000 and a death toll of more than 16,000. Meanwhile, the UK is seeing its infection curve level out as their number of confirmed cases is around 312,000, but a death tally of less than 44,000. To the capital now, and Abu Dhabi's Department of Health has confirmed that all our Dhafra hospitals are completely free of COVID-19 cases, and they can now start to provide their full list of healthcare services to all patients. Officials say that the milestone was achieved thanks to the efforts of the frontline workers and the mass testing program, which drastically reduced the number of cases requiring medical care. Last week, the department also declared other hospitals completely free of COVID-19 cases, such as Adnek Field Hospital, Sheikh Shakbout Medical City and Tawam Hospital, among others. Authorities are now urging the public to continue following all precautionary measures, including wearing face masks, washing hands periodically, and maintaining a safe social distance. And starting this Wednesday, fitness centres across Abu Dhabi will be allowed to reopen, provided gym goers and staff members follow the guidelines. The Abu Dhabi Sports Council made the announcement last night that covers the resumption of all indoor sporting activities across the capital with a maximum capacity of 40%. As for the guidelines, people heading to these facilities will undergo thermal checkups before and during their training sessions. Meanwhile, face masks and hand gloves must be worn. Also, participants must observe physical distancing of at least 2 metres, carry personal hygiene kits and train individually, except for those taking part in group training sessions. A total of 59 Indian repatriation flights are set to take off from the UAE next month as the Vande Bharat mission enters phase 4. That's according to Indian government, who say that additional private chartered flights will also be sanctioned to meet the demand from the Gulf region. Operations between the 1st and the 14th of July will see 39 special flights to Kerala alone, and the remaining 20 will be headed for New Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Rajasthan, among others. Statistics show that as of last week, a little over 530,000 Indians registered for repatriation with Indian missions around the world, while close to 365,000 nationals have already been brought home. Meanwhile, Pakistan has concluded its repatriation mission from the UAE and has announced that around 60,000 citizens have been evacuated from the Emirates during the past 3 months. This was revealed on Twitter by the Consul General of Pakistan to Dubai, Ahmed Amjad Ali. The official also said that to date, more than 30,000 stranded Pakistanis have flown back from Dubai in a total of 141 special flights. Also moving forward, any Pakistani citizen who wishes to head back home can now fly on regular flights, which resumed service from today. Sharjah police have provided accommodation to 280 Asian workers who have been working and staying in an under-construction building in the Emirates. The force stepped into action after a call was made to a live local TV programme where the caller described the plight of the workers who were living in difficult circumstances due to the pandemic, job losses and the hot climate. Officials say that the initiative is part of the department's keenness to fulfil their responsibility towards society, maintaining security and ensuring its stability for both citizens and expats. In other news, Dubai's Roads and Transport Authority over the weekend opened a flyover leading to the western entrance of the Dubai Creek Harbour. The new bridge has 3 lanes that links the traffic inbound from Dubai Al Ain Road and Al Khail Road heading eastwards to Dubai Creek Harbour. The project also includes the construction of a new street of 4 lanes in each direction, extending 1.5 kilometres. Officials say the bridge has a capacity of 7,500 vehicles per hour in the entry direction and 3,000 vehicles per hour in the exit direction. As part of the preparations for Eid al-Adha, Dubai Economy has started an inspection campaign in the livestock market in Al Qusais to protect consumers from exploitation and price manipulation. Officials say that livestock traders must adhere to consumer protection law, and they should also issue purchase invoices to consumers that clearly mentions the product and price details. What's more, the traders are also required to display livestock prices in a visible and legible way. Meanwhile, the public is being urged to report any violations through the Dubai Consumer app or by visiting the Consumer Rights website. Emirates Post has launched a new set of commemorative stamps featuring the Dubai Capital of Arab Media 2020 logo. The stamps feature various Dubai landmarks highlighting the Emirates' role in shaping the development of the UAE and Arab media sector over the last 2 decades. The stamps also highlight Dubai's status as a vibrant regional and global media hub that is home to more than 4,000 companies from across industry sectors. Time now for a short break, but stay with us here on Emirates News. The business is on the way next. And Moasha Dubai House Price Monthly Index Value posts strong 6-month figures in May. Details on the way. Stay with us. Welcome back to Emirates News. Our top story tonight. The Vice President today chaired a remote meeting of the UAE Cabinet in which Sheikh Mohammed approved a national system for sustainable agriculture as well as an additional 320 million dirhams in extra budgets for national universities. Time now for the business. Islamic Development Bank today listed a $1.5 billion sukuk on Nasdaq Dubai. The bank says the funds will aid health, social and business programs, countering the effects of COVID-19 among its 57 member countries. Today's listing brings the number of Islamic Development Bank sukuk listed on the region's international exchange to 12, with a total value of $16.14 billion. The official Moasha House Price Monthly Index, compiled by Dubai Land Department in cooperation with Property Finder, increased by 12.1% last month compared to the base year, which is 2012, recording a growth of 0.5% alone in May compared to April 2020. In May, Dubai Land Department recorded 1,440 transactions worth 2.47 billion dirhams. 66.5% of these transactions were in the off-plan market and 33.5% in the secondary market. Global health service company Cigna has published the results of its first COVID-19 global impact study, which aims to better understand the global impact of the pandemic. The study included people from 8 key markets, including the UAE. Jérôme Droche is regional CEO of Cigna. He's on the line with us now. Jérôme, great to have you here. What were the key findings of your COVID-19 global impact study, with reference in particular to the UAE?
So for me, there are two main learnings. First, the UAE's health index has remained really strong during the period of isolation and social distancing. And in fact, it has even shown improvement compared to January. So that's the first important learning. The second learning is that the high usage of technology has really helped people maintaining relationship in a world with, I would say, less or no social interactions. There was a real drop of loneliness, and actually 71% of the population talked to more people in April compared to normal months.
Now, Jérôme, what effect are the ongoing health implications of the coronavirus having on employers providing for their workers?
There are a couple of very interesting learnings. First, 79% of the UAE residents found more flexibility in working from home. They've also improved their communication with their colleagues. At the same time, they definitely have worked much more with longer working hours. And technology has connected us, but it has also led to what we call an always-on work culture, where employees feel that they cannot switch off even during weekends or late in the evening. And interestingly enough, 95% of the population attributed their stress to being always switched on, and 57% of the employees also admitted to work on weekends. So what is interesting is when you look at this overwork and the always-on culture, it has had some negative impact on mental health and has reduced productivity because of the, I would say, sharp rise in what we call loss of interest during this period of lockdown. And I think we can definitely easily understand that because there was less diversity in the day and extended working hours. So in summary, I would say some positive coming from the flexibility of working from home and some challenges coming from the always-on culture. And when we have asked our team at Cigna, how do they see the future, 50% of them would like to work partially from home and partially in the office. So definitely the future is more towards a balanced situation.
Working remotely has definitely changed the world as we know it. But how is virtual health evolving?
So during the lockdown of period, our Cigna telehealth activity has been multiplied by 30, so it's quite amazing. It's definitely too early to predict what would be the future volume of teleconsultation, but there is definitely a growing appetite for it. 66% of the population are keen to use it in order to avoid contact with people. And the main reason why they are contacting telehealth is general health support, prescription deliveries, mental health and well-being improvement, but also referrals to consult with specialists. What is interesting is there was less usage based on chronic disease, but we believe that in the future, with the future development of IoT to follow our health data, for sure there will be an increased trend also to use it for chronic conditions.
All right, we'll leave it there. Jérôme Droche, thank you very much for being with us. The latest Life After COVID-19 report from the Dubai Future Foundation highlights some positive aspects of the pandemic on the environment. It has been noted that COVID-19 has drastically reduced greenhouse gas emissions along with air pollution. The UAE is providing 126.5 billion dirhams in economic stimulus to overcome the impact of COVID-19. The report says that these funds can be directed towards initiatives that not only rescue economies but also address climate change. You can read the full report online at dubaifuture.gov.ae. District 2020, which oversees future operations following Expo 2020 Dubai, is set to launch a support program for startups. It's in partnership with Dubai SME and the Mohammed bin Rashid Innovation Fund under the Scale 2 Dubai program. Both organisations will provide District 2020 with a pipeline of high potential startups and small businesses and provide them with guidance, connections and also all important funding. Emirates Airline has added 7 cities to its passenger destination list across Europe, Asia, Africa and the Middle East, raising the total number to 48. Scheduled to commence in the first 2 weeks of July, flights will be operated for passengers to and from Khartoum, Amman, Osaka, Narita, Athens, Larnaca and Rome. The decision to add more cities to its list came following the announcement made last week to open Dubai for business and leisure visitors starting July 7th. Time now for the sport. The Emirates Racing Authority have announced the new season of horse racing will keep its traditional October start date. Although racing this season was cut short due to the pandemic, the ERA say that their new season will begin as planned on October the 29th at Al Ain Racecourse. 66 race days will be staged across the 5 venues of Al Ain Racecourse, the Abu Dhabi Equestrian Club, Jebel Ali Racecourse, Sharjah Racecourse and Dubai's Meydan Racecourse, with the final event set for April the 9th, 2021.
Come to the top of the straight, Major Cinnamon, Akbanira Negan, and out the back is Gali Al Athman into the straight, and Mick Yow's first up is the leader. Rota Medal coming after a Shanghai City out 3 wide, 2 off then to...
The UAE Pro League Committee, who run the top division in the Emirates, have said that the new Arabian Gulf League season will begin on September the 9th. The announcement came late on Thursday evening, just a few days after the decision to scrap the remaining games of the current season completely and void all the results. The league will remain at 14 teams for the new season, which will stage its opening match on the 9th of September, 6 days after the first round of the Arabian Gulf Cup will be played. Al Nassr Football Club have announced that their club shop is open again. The Dubai club have been at the forefront of precautionary measures in the UAE League, and they have now told their fans that they can buy replica shirts and kit and other items from the shop as long as customers follow the new safety guidelines. When the Arabian Gulf League season was abandoned 2 weeks ago, Al Nassr stood 6th in the table, 12 points off the top. The president of the UFC, Dana White, has posted the first picture of Fight Island in Abu Dhabi. Next month, the UFC will stage 4 fight nights throughout July at Yas Island. While posted this photo of construction of an octagon on Yas Beach, although the fights themselves will take place nearby at the Flash Forum, a 25-kilometre safe zone on Yas Island has already been created, housing only the fighters, their coaches, UFC staff, select media and those deemed essential to Fight Island's operation. And finally, some great news for our 4-legged friends. The JLT Dog Park at Jumeirah Lakes Towers is now officially open. The park provides a safe and enclosed space for residents and neighbouring communities, as well as visitors, to walk and exercise their dogs in a controlled environment and show off their pedigree at the same time. The 475 square metre gated park offers a number of features, including a sandpit, open green space, water fountain and shaded seating area, and a dog play equipment as well. The park's open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. And with that, we end tonight's bulletin. Follow us at Dubai One TV and at Emirates_News. Remember to join us for our COVID-19 briefs throughout the day, as well as our regular 7:30 p.m. bulletin. Continue to stay safe. Thanks for watching Bye for now.